Welcome to the Snowshoe PHP SDK video. If you've already downloaded the SDK, we can take a look inside. First, I'll just go over the basics of how to connect the SDK to your app. So we will go into the config file. And there are just these three constants that we need to change. First, we need to put in our app ID, then our app secret. These are things that you should be able to find on your developer page on the Snowshoe website. And finally, the URL of the page where you want the stamp screen to show up. Now your app is connected to the Snowshoe stamping page. When you go to that URL, you'll see a stamp page, and once you stamp it, the default behavior is just to show success or failure, depending on how the stamping action went. Say we want to do something different. Say we want to also display the serial number. The basic flow of the SDK is index.php redirects the user to the stamp page. Then callback.php gets called with a JSON object representing the stamp and giving you some of its attributes. And finally end.php gets called to render a final page for the user. So first let's change callback.php. This array, our return data, is what gets encoded as a JSON, and that is what gets sent to end.php. So let's add an index to that. We'll call it serial for the serial number. If the stamping action failed, we'll just say that the serial number is -1. Otherwise, we can get the serial number from the JSON that got sent in, which has been decoded as our post data. So now when you go back to that stamping page, once you stamp it, it will display both the success or failure and the serial number. But say we just want to display the serial number. We will go to end.php, the one that renders that final page. And as you can see right now, it prints out the entire decoded JSON. So let's change that to just print out the serial number.
So here you can see a workflow of the PHP SDK. In addition to the config file, the SDK basically relies on the three files that we've shown you previously: index.php, callback.php, and end.php. So first you land on the index.php page. This redirects the user to our servers and the stamp screen. Once the stamping action occurs, we post a JSON data, if a stamp is identified, back to callback.php. You can then return any response that you want from callback.php, as we showed you previously, and then we post the response from your callback as post payload to end.php. And that's pretty much the whole process.